Once upon a time, in a tiny kingdom, there lived a very, very kind king. He was good to his people and good to his kingdom. He just had the one tricky flaw. He changed his mind all the time. I'd like my blue waistcoat. No, I'd like my green waistcoat. No, I'd like my orange waistcoat. Drove everybody crazy. Well, one day the king had a fantastic idea. So he went into the great hall and came and spoke to his people. All the people bowed. "Your Majesty." And he said, "I have had a fantastic idea for the kingdom. I'm going to build a beautiful bridge across the great river so that all the people can cross and be happy." Well, the people thought that was a great idea, especially Bridgebuilder, because she was going to build the bridge. The king said, "Bridgebuilder, come forward." And she did. "I want you to build a blue bridge." She said, "A blue bridge, Your Majesty?" He said, "Yeah, a blue bridge. A pure blue bridge of the purest blue stones that you ever saw. Purer than sapphire, than sky." She said, "That would be a beautiful bridge, Your Majesty." "Do you mean I should get grey stones and paint them blue?" No. Pure blue stones." "Do you have an idea where I might find those stones?" He said, "No, but you need to go out and look." So she did. She got up and she went into her horse carriage. She got down real low and she searched for a long time until she went in to a beautiful forest. Come up into tree pose. Now go up on the other leg. And there she met the wisest of owls. So then she went down into owl pose. Turn your head. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. And the bridge builder said, "Mr. Owl, have you seen any pure blue stones by chance? Purer than sapphires, purer than the bluest sky?" And he said, "As a matter of fact, I have. Come on over here, I'll show you the quarry." And so the owl took the bridge builder over to the edge of the quarry. She got down real low into locust pose, raised her arms up off the mat, raised her legs up off the mat, and peeked over the edge of the quarry. And there, what do you think she saw? The purest blue stones that ever were, purer than sapphires, more beautiful than the bluest sky. She was so excited. She was going to take the stones back to the king. So she gathered them up, the purest blue stones that ever were. And she went back to the king and the kingdom in the great hall. And she said, "Your Majesty, look, I found the pure blue stones. Aren't they beautiful?" And the king said, "Those are beautiful blue stones. It's just really too bad that now I want a purple bridge." "Really too bad, Your Majesty." "Right, so you need to go out and find the purest purple stones that ever were. Purple, pure, like the wildflowers in the grass, like the purest amethyst that ever was." And she said, "Yes, Your Majesty." So then she got into her boat and went down the river. Pick up the sides of your mat and go side to side as she goes down the river, down the river. Oh, there's a waterfall. Oh! Now we have to row to the side of the bank. Ready to get your oar? A row! Now to the other side of your legs. A row! And she finally got to the bank of the great river. And then she saw a cow. So she went over to talk to the cow. She got into cow pose, which is hands and knees like this, and arch your back and say, "Moo." And Bridgebuilder said, "Mr. Cow, I'm looking for purple stones. Have you ever seen any? Pure like the wildflowers, pure like the amethyst. And the cow thought for a moment and said, yeah, I have. They're on top of that mountain. And Bridgebuilder said, fantastic. And then she got up from talking to the cow and she climbed the mountain. With high knees, she climbed the mountain. And when she got to the top, she saw exactly what the cow was talking about. So she came into flower pose because the purple stones were sitting next to the flowers in the grass. She brought the soles of her feet together in real tight, put her hands underneath her knees, and tipped back into flower pose. Well, in addition to the beautiful purple stones that she found, she got giddy with excitement because she also found green stones too. She found these green stones lying right next to the purple stones in the grass, in the tall grass. Let's be tall grass together, shall we? Put your legs straight up, and then one goes down like it's blowing in the wind, and the other one goes down, and they're both blowing in the wind. So now she has purple stones and green stones. She's so excited because the king changes his mind all the time, as we know. So she goes back to the great hall after a long journey home, and she says, Your Majesty. And she says, I've got the purple stones you asked for, and I've also got green stones too, so you have a lovely choice. We've got blue, purple, green. What would you like? He said, thank you, but it's really too bad now because I wanted a yellow bridge. A yellow bridge. I don't suppose we could paint any of these yellow. No, sorry about that. I want a pure yellow bridge for the best bridge in the kingdom. And I want it to shine like the sun, to burn like gold. And the bridge builder said, all right, you don't have any idea where to get these gold stones, do you? The yellow ones that shine like gold. No, but you found the other ones. Shouldn't be a problem. Yes, Your Majesty. So she went out to try to find the yellow stones. Let's stand up. And let's ride a horse out of town. So she gets on the horse by raising her arms, going down and walking her hands out to down dog. Then she kicks up in the air. Nay! Nay! And she rides that horse as long as she can. But it's such a long journey that the horse is tired. Till she comes to the edge of a vast desert and she meets a camel, a dromedary camel. She says, Mr. Camel, I'm so tired. Do you have any idea where I might find yellow stones that burn like gold, that shine like the sun? And the camel said, yeah, I do. They're right out in the middle of the desert. I'll take you there. So she gets onto the camel and she goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And then when she gets to the center of the desert, she sees the most beautiful sight that ever was. She sees the yellow stones like gold. She also sees the red stones like rubies. And then she sees orange stones too, like fire. She's hoping that these will do it because they're beautiful and there are 3 this time to choose from. So she goes back to the king. It's a very, very long and tiresome journey. She goes over mountains. She goes through forests, and the wind and the rain and the elements are pounding down on her, especially the rain. She gets near the castle and she sees a ray of sunlight peeking through the clouds and the rain across the great river. And she has an idea. So she goes in and sees the king. Your Majesty. Well, you're not going to believe what I found this time. I found 3. I found gold, yellow. I found red, like rubies, and I also found orange. Of all the colours, I'm sure that we can make... Actually, now I want to, says the king. Wait, your majesty, don't mean to interrupt you, but I've had an idea. And then she goes over, across the great hall, and she opens the giant curtains that look down on the great river. And what do you think she saw there? Everyone saw a giant rainbow bridge that crossed the great river, just like the bridge that she would build. And the king said, build me a rainbow bridge, Bridgebuilder. Build it with the many colours of the rainbow. And that's just what she did. She gathered up all of her stones that she'd gathered over all of her travels. And she came up into side plank pose, which is going to be our rainbow today. She comes up like this, and she made the most beautiful bridge that anyone had ever seen, the rainbow bridge. Let's end with a forward bend. The end.